Welcome back to Esther and Friends. Thank you so much for tuning in today. First of all, we want to say thank you for watching our first episode. We hope you loved it. The one was on Valentine's Day. And thank you so much for your likes and your comments. We really appreciate it. And we hope we just brought a little light in your day. Today is February 28th. It's almost the end of February and it's still the month of love, so we thought it would still be nice to be talking about love, because who doesn't like to talk about love? Especially women, I would think.
Exactly.
So we got a couple quotes about love that we found, and we just wanted to share it with you and share a little bit about what we think about it. So, and end this month on a love note. So we hope you enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in. Bree, you want to?
Sure, I can share this one quote. Yeah, I'd love to. So this is a quote by Bill Keane, and it's, "They invented hugs to let people know you love them without saying anything." And I'm sure I've heard that before. I'm sure many of you have heard that before. But not everyone hugs. And so, I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about that. So, and this is also for you guys to think about. Are you a hugger? I'm a hugger, for sure. Are you guys huggers?
I'm definitely a hugger.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I will say, like, growing up, with my background, so both my mom and my father's side, it's like Mennonite, and one side is like Mennonite / Amish, actually.
Yeah, right.
And so there's more of like a conservative, both like my grandparents left the Mennonite church, so I didn't necessarily grow up with that, but I know that it affects how we all do things. So
in culture.
So we're huggers. Like my family, we hug, but it's not that like big bear hug. It's just like hug, and and sometimes it's love you. Where my mom's side, which was more Amish in the heritage, definitely like more huggers, which might surprise some people, but they're very passionate people when it comes to their family, and they love strong. Yeah. And so I think that's probably where it comes from.
Yeah. So like when we look at the quote though, it says hugs are connected to letting them know that you love them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from Holland, so I'm from a different culture. And even like different cities or towns is different. So I would love to hear your take about how you grew up when you were in New York and stuff, how that was. But like we, in the Dutch culture, when you see someone, whether it's family, it doesn't really matter, you don't really hug. We give 3 kisses now, okay? On the cheek. I know there are cultures that actually kiss on the mouth. I could tell you a story about that when we were living in South Africa. They actually kiss on the mouth, and it's totally normal. Which is just a different culture. But you go somewhere, you see another woman give your husband a kiss on the mouth.
Yeah. You're not from that
culture. I had a little culture shock. Yeah. But I learned that was just a total normal thing. Yeah. Now people come to my culture, my country, and they see guys giving each other 3 kisses. We don't really, our lips don't really touch, to be honest. We kind of just do our cheeks, which is really interesting because when I came to America, over here, everybody gave hugs. And I guess not so much if you don't know the person. I don't know how that is. In this area, of course, it can be totally different if you're from the east or the west. I don't know. I've always been kind of on the East Coast. And the South is also different. But I must say, I am a hugger. I love hugging. I love... So in our culture, if you haven't seen someone for a long time, we definitely hug, But it's very normal when we have birthdays or something, or some type of celebration, and you go. Even if the person is not your family, we go around the room and we, shake hands and we kiss.
Yeah.
Women are women, men are men. It's just a normal thing.
Right.
And to me, it's normal. But then you have conversations with other people and like, what? What do you mean? It's a normal thing. But for certain people in my culture would think like hugging is way more personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
It can
like
really feel.
I can hug someone today, but I don't really know them, so it doesn't tell me that I love them.
Right.
Okay.
It's just more What do you think about that?
I've always been a hugger. Which is very weird.
That's really cool.
I was raised in a single parent family. My mom is not a hugger. Like, she's not a kisser.
Okay.
She's not even a hand holder. Okay. She's not affectionate in those ways.
Hey, such as mom.
Yeah.
Hi, Gigi, I love you. She's affectionate in other ways.
Yes.
She has her own love language.
Yes.
And she would always say, growing up, she'd be like, Sasha, who are you related to? Like Henry Kissinger and Russell Huggins? Like, I remember her saying that to me because to me, I don't know. Like, I've always felt like I want people to know that, hi, like, I care. So, I give you a hug. If I don't know you, I'm not going to give you a kiss. But I just find that so weird. But in West
generally, my vision or my thoughts of someone from New York. Now, I could be totally wrong, and a lot of our thinking patterns come from like movies and shows, and that's totally not the real world. So, but you would think just because of the hustle and the bustle, and you go, and it feels like people would be more. Generally, I have to watch what I say. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't mean that you're a cold person, but I don't know. I've heard people say from New York that they're not really, that if they hug someone, it means something.
Yeah. So
not just,
you hug someone like that's your family.
Yeah. Okay. Not just any person.
And it depends basically like if you're Italian, like what your background is.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
New York has a lot of backgrounds.
And so like my background is the West Indian background. Like culturally, like we're very social people.
Yes, open.
Very open.
Yeah.
New York, you'll get a head nod. What's up? That's what you'll get. We're not gonna hug you if we don't know you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, and that's how my culture is a little bit more too. Like if you go into someone's house, even though you came with someone, you're in their house, you will greet them the culture way. But like on the street or whatever, we don't really, greet whatever. Like around here, you go to restaurants and people smile at you.
Yeah.
I love it. You feel so much more connected in a way.
Yeah. I would say I definitely hug more than not hug. Like friends or even like people that maybe I've just met.
Yes.
And it's the end of our time being together and I'm giving them a hug.
Yeah.
It is different with men.
Yes.
I definitely I position myself differently.
Right.
Because when you're like doing this, it's almost like a place of intimacy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. So, but
that's
women
interesting.
Women,
So we have
like, come here.
different kinds of hugs.
But men, I'm just like, I mean, my dad, not so much, like, not with family as much, but, other men, like, it just, I'm like, hey,
Yeah. No, that's true.
Interesting.
That's true. I'm just trying to think in my culture if we really do it all the same.
Yeah. I know Jensen, like, he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And they do that.
Yeah.
They, like, kiss on the side.
Okay, they do. I didn't know
And one
that.
time he did that to one of my girlfriends, and her boyfriend was there. And I remember, like, it was weird for him. But not for Jensen. It's just normal.
For the boyfriend.
For the boyfriend.
Okay.
At that point.
Well,
so that's kind of
that's exactly my situation I was telling you about in South Africa,
Yeah.
I mean, we went to someone's house and we knew the people from church and stuff, but it was New Year's Day, I think it was, something like that. And so everybody says, happy holidays, happy New Year. Totally normal. And but it also was, so I was shocked, but it wasn't like that it went in slow motion. It was just greets and then went on to the next person. It was total normal thing. I went into slow motion. I was like,
wait a second. Did I just see what I thought I just saw?
I know my husband was like,
Yeah. Well, he's from Lancaster. Jason's from Lancaster.
But you know about culture. That's what I love, really, to learn more about. What you think in your head. That's not at all what they're thinking.
No, because it's totally different. So I am, as I mentioned, I'm a hugger. I like to give hugs. And I'm very thankful because my in-laws. Yeah. They're Hispanic, so you get the 2 kisses.
Okay.
Yeah. So when my mom met Sammy's parents, it was like,
okay.
She's not really a hugger and like a kisser,
Yeah.
Like
you see that in the movies,
because and like my mom is very much a New Yorker, like a city person. Like so she's like, or it's so funny when she comes down here and we go to Shady Maple. She's like,
Maple.
They're smiling at me. Yeah. What do they want?
Oh my word. They're all happy because they just ate really good food.
Like everyone's happy.
Yes.
No one wants anything, Mom.
No.
Okay, they're being friendly in person.
Right. Want something from me.
I'm pretty sure we hugged like the first time we met. So it's a personality thing too.
Yeah.
That just always interests me because, I know it's not always the same. But I definitely, so I would say, I maybe wasn't a hugger. In my family, I was. I'm very much, that's my love language. Yeah. I'm very much touchy, feely, that type of thing. So definitely my family, but just a culture difference. So when I came here for the first time, I learned that, that's a normal thing. And I like that, I like just breaking down those barriers and like I said, it doesn't always have to be a full hug.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, hey, great, how are you type of thing. It's not that.
And that's a way of showing love. It's not necessarily like the romantic love we're talking about.
Absolutely not.
No. So, but I'll always remember when I met. Now, my husband's best friend is Italian, so we went over to his best friend's. I think it was the grandfather's house, Pop, and he 3 kisses. Like I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like this is like the Italian mafia. Like I'm getting all this love, It's like I just love it. Like because I love love. Yeah. Yes, the Godfather, love that.
Yeah.
I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
So we're all huggers.
We're huggers. If you see us in person, just come up to us. We'll probably give you a hug. Or some kisses. No.
And we don't want anything. We're just, expressing ourselves.
Just, being nice.
Yeah.
That's all. It's all being nice.
How do you guys hug? Do you guys hug? I would be interested to hear.
Are you a hugger?
Different cultures.
Or a head nodder.
So I do think we can conclude that it's the culture and personality.
How you grew up. Yeah, for
personality, how you feel, whether you're open, you're more an extrovert or an introvert.
Yeah.
But even introverts, doesn't mean they can't hug. But your how you grew up, how you view that, I guess. So. Right, next quote.
So I have a quote here from McLaughlin.
You got a nice name.
I got a nice name, guys. I'm sorry. I tend to butcher things.
I know.
And it says, a successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person.
I love that. I think
do
that's
too.
important. I love that.
I have to say that's very true. Especially in my marriage per se, like with Sam, we do things differently. We do things differently, not the same, but we always get the job done.
Okay, yeah.
And I appreciate that because sometimes I'm like, oh, you did that way. Oh, maybe I could try that. That might help me out, And I love that he's a little bit more creative than I am. Okay, so I could take that from it, Yeah. How about you guys?
I think that the love, like you're falling in love over
and over again.
But it's like a deeper love. And I have not been married as long as you ladies, but I've noticed that even in the last year and a half, well, almost 2 years, of just, it's like, it could even be a harder love. It could even be a more difficult love. But it's still love and you're still growing in that. But
what do you mean? What do you mean with harder or difficult?
I should define that. Like moments where you have to choose love and not necessarily you're feeling the butterflies of I'm falling in love all over again. That happens. Like it just happened the other day where I was like looking at my husband and I was thinking, I love him so much. He was just, he was up speaking about his grandfather who recently passed.
Yes.
He just really was being vulnerable and open, and I'm like, that's the man I married, and I love him. I'm so glad that he's mine.
Yeah.
But then there's other times where I feel like you're choosing to love in a difficult situation, and yet after it, because you chose love, like you're deeper in love. Like, you know, does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
That does make sense. I think it's layers of love, and the more you go on a journey together of life, you learn that it is really, love has nothing to do with feelings, to be honest. That's how it starts, for sure. We have love languages which connect to our feelings. But at the end of the day, love is a choice. And everybody has a choice. And so, again, it's that knowing, you know, know that he loves you, even though you didn't hear a certain thing for a long time. You would say it all the time. You know, he might not. It's a choice, and gotta make that choice a lot more once you start living normal life, and there's just always circumstances around, different influences, and but yes, it's layers of love. Like, we gotta keep falling in love, and you know, otherwise it gets boring. You know, and remind yourself. That's what I wanted to ask you, ladies. So, what made you fall in love back then? What was it? Oh, a nice smile on your face. I can see it. I
fall in love right now.
And then, like, you know, those days where maybe those feelings aren't always there. I mean, let's be real. Come on. When the kids are hanging on your leg and you were just puked on, whatever it is.
Oh, it's
you don't
coming.
really feel love. You know what I mean? What do you, like, I try to remind myself, you know, what was it I fell in love with? So just share us that smile.
I'm smiling because I met Sam at Penn State Altoona, and I didn't know him. I saw him on campus. This was like day 3 on campus. Freshman year. And I saw him on campus. He was just talking, like in a crowd of people, just talking to someone. And I was with a friend that I just made. And I saw him, like, in the crowd, and I was like, I said to Shatine, I'm like, Shatine,
Shatine,
I'm going to marry him. And she looked at me and she was like, you just got here. You don't know him.
You're a freshman in college.
Like, you have no idea who he could be. And I just saw his interaction with people, and that's what I fell in love with, because he loves people. And I could tell that, you know, he's a people person. He loves people. Like, just from that, like, one experience. And, you know, we became friends, and then I married him.
Did you go up to him? Really nice. Or, like, how did you become friends then?
We hung around in, like, the similar circle of friends, and he pledged a fraternity. I pledged a sorority. And we would do a lot of, like, campus events together. So when we did Thon, raising money for pediatric cancer, like, our paths would cross. And, like, that's how we became friends. And I got him.
I was like, not that you were on a bus or anything. You weren't there and, like, get a husband degree. It happened. That's so fun. Cool. I love that.
I remember when I first met my husband, we are very polar opposites, and truth be told, opposites attract. Definitely, I'm very thankful for that today, because man, when I have a day that I need his strengths, you know, I mean, it works. It works like an oiled machine. Like, awesome. Very, very thankful. But back in the day, I mean, I would have never, people, when they started hearing we got together and stuff, they were like, what?
What? Really?
What?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, just some of the differences. He loves, back in the day, he loved heavy metal music, hard rock.
I would not have gotten that from Jay.
He had like that long hair.
No. Stop it. I need pictures.
I hung with the cool kids.
Maybe you should put a picture in the comments.
I would love to to think like I was one of those. Anyway, I used to listen to R&B,
He's the bad boy,
you know, black gospel, rap. That was those were the friends I hung out with, very multicultural, all that. Anyway, so I can't say I noticed him in the room because I didn't.
Oh my word.
He wasn't your genre.
But we hung with the same people, same friend group, and after a couple years, we went with the team to South Africa. That's how we went over there, missionaries, and we had the same vision in life, and that really attracted me to him, how dedicated he was. And he wined and dined me.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. He just, he took me the first time. We lived in Cape Town, South Africa. Let me tell you, the most beautiful place on earth. Now, I haven't visited every place on earth, so I'm sure there are similar places, but to me, in my opinion, beautiful Atlantic Ocean, dolphins, like 5 minutes from our house. Paradise. So he took me on a walk on the beach, and we just talked about life, and he got me an ice cream cone, I think. Okay, good, and then a week later, he took me to a really nice Indian restaurant, and you know, a couple months then we started dating, and then it was Christmas. We were still dating, and he cooked for me, cooked a meal for me, gave me a nice bracelet. I still wear it every day. I mean, those were things that just that made me fall for him, you know. And today I love watching him being a father to my kids. That's to me, it's a different. You will see a different side of the man you fall in love with. And that makes me melt, you know, seeing him just loving on them and his wisdom with things. And so anyway, even though we were so different, I'm just so thankful that we got together, and you know.
Yeah, I love that.
Yours is a little more fresh.
I'm excited for you to experience that.
Yes.
With your hubby. Yeah. To watch that process, it's absolutely amazing. I watch Sam, like, even like when he has to discipline Xander and say, okay, buddy, that's not what we do. He gets down to his level and he talks to him. And just to hear him talk, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so blessed. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. It just reminded me when you were saying that your life goals and your vision were similar.
Yes, very.
I remember that in like our premarital counseling, how we had a section where we had to write out what our goals, like long term, because truthfully, a lot of things will change. Like the little things, quirks. I mean, personality is pretty much set, but the vision and the like long term vision for your family, for your life, like they need to be parallel. And so I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Jensen, my husband, actually Facebook messaged me.
What?
I used to do dating websites, and I was like, I'm not meeting my husband online. I was single for 5 years. Yes. And like single but dating.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is just not going to work. So I just was like, not doing this online. Like, I'm just, whatever, God. Like, you'll just put him in my path. And so I got this message from this boy. I was like, you look really young. And I, at the time I was 26. Yes. And he was 21. And I'm thinking, normally, like the 21-year-olds that I know, men, they are not in any way, shape, or form ready to like be in a serious relationship, headed towards marriage. Right. Right. And so when he messaged me, there was a little bit of like weird communication because I was very hesitant. And then finally, and he was just asking me questions, and I was like, what do you want? And he knows this. Like, when he watches, he'll just laugh. Like, he knows it's true. Sure. And I told him twice my age. Like, I told him once in the beginning that I was 26, and then again when he asked me for coffee.
Thinking maybe he would, like, stay up.
When he asked me for coffee, I'm like, well, I'm 26. And he was like, okay, coffee. So we finally did. We went to the New Holland Coffee Company, or the coffee shop, and it snowed that day, and that was in in February, and it was I think it was February 21st, and then he just started like courting me, I guess you could say it, and he kept asking me, when can I call you my girlfriend? Aww. And I was just, I don't know, I was so hesitant, and I really was guarded from being single for 5 years, and like I had been engaged before, so like this was a big thing. I'm like, well, if I say yes, we can date, this means we're going to get engaged and we're going to get married. Like, my head was always there. So I was like, well, let me take a weekend and I'm going to fast and pray. And I was serious. Like, I'm not trying to be like that girl that's like, well, God told me, like, you're not, to use as an excuse. I was serious. Right. So I did. I fasted. I prayed. I was, like, very intentional. And he respected it so much. Yeah. Like, he didn't text me. He didn't try to get a hold of me. And before, it was before I went into the fasting and praying, he had like told me that I was like a pearl, and he was like quoting scriptures. I was like, okay, are you trying to make this harder for me? Yeah, right. But it actually gave me things to chew on. Yeah. And then, so afterwards, we met, and he met me. We were going to go to breakfast, and he had like a candle and flowers and like a blanket that said like love on it. And then we went to breakfast, and I told him my answer. I said, I really feel like, at least let's just try this. Like, I'm not going to try to conclude what this is going to be, but let's just try it. And later I asked him, like, what if I had said no and you got me all of that stuff? Like, and he was like, well, you deserved it anyways. And so, that's so nice. Yeah, he's just a really, like, gentle giant. Like, he's not a small framed man. And he's just like super gentle though. So that's what made me fall in love.
I think our husband got a lot of points.
Yes.
A lot of points.
I love a good love
Month
story.
Of love.
I know. I just like know how they hug your mug.
Yeah.
Well, one more quote we have, and I love this quote. It speaks so much about me. It says we're all a little weird. And life is a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall into mutually satisfying weirdness and call it love, true love.
Yes.
And that was written or said by Robert Fulghum.
Sounds right. Yeah. Yep. Sounds right.
Anyway, I love that because being weird together brings so much fun to your relationship and lightness, because gelling two cultures, personalities together, it's not always, that doesn't always gel, it's like oil and water, but so it can sometimes be so serious, and for me, I just love, also because that's also my personality. I love being fun, and life needs to stay fun for me. So I don't know how it is for you ladies, but
you need to
are there some weird things you guys do, and what are some weird things you and your husband do to make each other laugh
seriously not
that you want to share?
I will share.
But you go first and I'll think.
I will share.
All right.
So
I would love to hear.
Oh my word.
No.
Sam is just, oh my goodness. I don't want to say a prankster, but he's fun. Ooh. So he's always like, a song will be playing on the radio. He's like, I wrote that song. I wrote that song for you. I'm still waiting on my royalties. Or my favorite is random dance parties. Like, he randomly will just bust out and dance in the kitchen. And I'm looking for my phone because I'm like, I have to record this and post it. Yes. And he's always like, I hate your phone. You thought you were going to get that, right?
So funny.
No. So I love that because sometimes, if you have a lot of stuff going on, it lightens the mood and makes it fun and fresh. And I love that. Like, I enjoy those moments. Yeah. And then the funny part is the kids now, like, jump in and dance when Daddy's dancing. So it's like a dance party in the kitchen. I love that.
Yeah. I have to say amen to that. My family, my kids, myself, and my husband, bless his heart, we love to dance.
Yeah.
We love music. So we love to turn it up. We got even a disco light thing that goes on the...
Like
it's
a
like
strobe.
a Bluetooth thing.
Okay.
So you put it in the room and it goes on the beat. So it changes colors.
Oh,
My
I
kids
love that.
it. We turn off the
The
light.
personal party.
And we would do that like
So fun.
pretty often. We had a dance party last night.
I love those.
And because it was
Yeah.
just like a little tight, people were at each other, siblings and stuff. We were like, okay, let's just cut it out. Let's put the music on and dance.
Yeah.
And even, my kids love it. My husband is not a good dancer. He says it about himself.
Yeah.
But he just lets loose. And I love that. And a lot of times, actually, when I'm like a little bit like my nails come out,
edge,
catty towards him. Sometimes he'll just break out and he'll just start dancing, and it just makes me laugh, like for real. Like he does funny dances, and that is my favorite thing in our relationship and in my family.
Yeah,
laughter.
Yeah. Oh my
It
goodness.
heals. It
love
restores.
laughing.
Yeah, it's medicine.
And sometimes we just turn on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we watch fails or pranks.
Oh my word.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
fun.
And we find a really good one, and we just laugh.
Laugh.
It literally is so important.
Yeah, it is.
And
Jensen's definitely the goofier one in our relationship, and the one that would like break out in dancing, like break dancing.
And bust a move.
And he like,
I love it.
and it'll just be random, and
that's
or he like
fun.
sings in the shower, and he's like making these funny songs, and I'm like on Instagram Live. I'm like, and then he's like, 'cause he's not on that.
I
He's
don't
on
do
Snapchat.
that.
But I'm like, he won't even see this. And then he's like, babe, I checked Instagram today. I'm like, what? You never check Instagram.
You got caught.
But you're so cute. And so I definitely have a harder time like letting loose. I'm like a serious, I don't know, I'm just like wired to be that way, I guess, or maybe it was my childhood. And so, yeah, it definitely is good to have him like with me and in the car, and it's just usually random. It's not like we have this thing yet. We'll probably have more as we're together longer. But yeah, he's just a lot of fun. He really is. So it lightens me up.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
it's fun. He's like a big joke teller. Like he'll make jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, babe, that doesn't even make sense. But at the same time, I'm like, that's so funny because it's you. Like, I love you so much.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
no, and it does.
thing.
It does. Like you really are trying to still be mad.
But
trying to hold on to nothing.
Sometimes
And
it's
he's
like,
just, and it just, I mean,
yeah.
you can't.
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
supposed
like,
to stop laughing.
Or you're just like silent after being so angry, and like all of a sudden you just like
Yeah.
look at each other. And you just start like smiling, and then you just start laughing.
So
That happens to us. Yeah.
I love
I love
that.
it.
I love it too.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, time is up. So we are so glad that you guys joined us again. We hope that you had a great month of love, and that you can find the fun in keeping the love alive in your relationships. And we will see you March 14th. That's our next time together. And actually, there's National Women's Day coming up.
We'll be talking about
So we'll be talking about that,
Yes.
talking about maybe some women in history or in our lives who inspire us. So yeah, feel free to share this if you feel like someone else needs a little laughter today, and comment, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Thank you for tuning in.